Welcome to 3D.sk, human photo reference for 3D artists and game developers. On this site you can find thousands of images, from studio photo reference to street photo reference. We also have a selection of animals on our site. We have some costumes, we have weapons, armor. We also have 3D scans of bodies and heads, clothing, animals, all the aforementioned above, and 3D maps and textures. So carrying on from the last tutorial where we started placing hair cards, we're going to start placing some more. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the most thickest hair. This is probably a good one. Going to bring it over here. Let's rotate it again. Just the same thing we've been doing in the last tutorials. And I'm just going to fill this whole layer, another layer area, up to the hairline with this hair mostly. So I'm going to start off by doing that. So it'll be sped up, so I'll see you in a sec. Alright, so now I'm back, and you can see that these were looking very similar, but I broke them up by using another hair to kind of break it up a little bit. So that's what you're gonna be doing all the way through, is kind of, if you see any too much similarity, you're gonna get a hair. Gonna move it, rotate it, as usual. Let's say that I see too much similarity between these two, for example, which is true. Just press Alt on that to deselect it. Go to vertex mode. Let's select all the vertexes that aren't the top one. Let's just kind of move them out. Maybe, ooh, local would be better here. Let's just move them all out. Let's move this down. Let's just say I had it about here, maybe. Kind of breaks up the root a little bit as well. Okay. Move this out. Say it kind of rests on top nicely. Maybe move it up a little bit. This might need rotating a little bit. Yep, it does. Okay. easily do that by just rotating a little bit. Probably on this angle. Let's see how local does. Local will not work here. Say there's about nice. Okay, let's deselect the plane. It lets me. Okay, finally. You can already see that similarity is disappearing already. Where was it? It was here. So we can kind of just move this over here a little bit. Maybe curve it a little bit. Starting to do some weird things, but that's fine. We can fix that in a sec. What we can actually do is we can go to our modifier and go rotation, and you can actually use the rotate here. You can even twist a little bit. But the twist is unnecessary. I'm just going to go back to the line. I'm just going to try and break this up a little bit. This one's just starting to go completely crazy. So let's just get, let's say this one, and let's restart this. Sometimes they'll start going a bit weird, so sometimes you just got to start with a new one, if that happens. So where's the similarity? Good if you can barely find it, but it's round about here. So this time I'm going to make sure that I rotate it like this. Like so, and just make sure that I've got this lined up correctly. Before I start doing too much. Just going to put that like so. Okay, move it down. That should be good. Okay, let's try this again. Put that in there a little bit. That's fine. Maybe it's a bit too much. Okay, about there. Can start moving these in now. And you can see how we can break this up using this. Really trying to break up the kind of too much similarity. Similarity is good if you're going for very smooth hair, but I don't really want smooth hair. I want kind of like person that doesn't keep their hair very much. Because I'm using Jeff Bridges as his hair as a start, but I actually want someone with very messy, unkept hair. Like just cuts it themselves, kind of. Part of the character, I guess, that I'm designing. So you can see that we've broken that up quite well now. But now you see a similarity there. So maybe we can get maybe we can get a big one this time. Actually, there seems to be just too much going on there right now. Let's maybe, what if we delete this one? How does that look? No, I don't like that too much. What we can do though, is I can deselect this plane and just maybe make this go in a bit of a kind of more random direction. A bit more curly maybe. Kind of like this. Maybe we can get another. There will be some hairs coming over here as well, so to be honest, that's fine. But you can see how we're just kind of building up layers, kind of getting some kind of nice hair strands in there. If we do a quick render, you can see how it's starting to look. And it just some random hairs. You could make it a lot smoother if you wanted to. But I don't want my character to look like he's just been to the hairdresser. Like he's just woken up or something. Plus, if we think the hair is too thin at the bottom, we can always go back in ZBrush and fix that. Might just move this in a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to speed up the video. I'm just going to finish off this whole hairline bit here, and then I'll be back. See you in a sec. So now that we're back and you can see that we've created the whole back layer of the head, let's just give it a little render and see how that's looking. It's looking fine for now. Probably go in ZBrush for a little bit of touch up, but the main area we want to focus on now is probably maybe going into some clay mode and just kind of bringing these down a little bit maybe. What I mean by that is selecting these, or like this one, for example, and just kind of bringing it in a little bit so they're not so, I don't really know the word, but they make a bit more sense, I guess. So what we can do here is we can go to this, and we can go rotation and maybe just rotate it a little bit. That should maybe bring it in a little bit and allow us to go back into our spline. Kind of bring this in a tiny bit, maybe. A little bit of collision doesn't matter. Yeah, just kind of like that. See here, there's one bit from underneath that's sticking out a bit too much. Just go in here and you just kind of edit that out, or edit it like this. Maybe we want this one moving more like that. Bring it in. Maybe we can go to this one, bring this one in a little bit. We just want to reduce this kind of, I don't really know what to call it, like this extrusion a little bit in the side of the head. It does happen, but not this extreme. Maybe just reduce that a little bit. That's looking a bit better. Okay, let's go back to default. Yeah, you can just see that now the hairs kind of blend and kind of overlap a little bit better. Take the one that's intersecting with and then move that back. And then get the one that's intersecting with and move that one back. Quite a simple process. You may just have to do it every so often. But this one needs moving back. Just here mainly. Yep, just there. Maybe that one's fine where it is. Anyway, in the next tutorial, because this tutorial is over for now, because we've done what we want to do, we're going to be doing exactly what I was doing at the end here, which is just going to the back layers, kind of flattening them down a little bit, and making it so things kind of closely meld together a little bit better, because you can see that the more you do that, the more realistic this starts looking. Obviously this texture isn't great because it doesn't have any shadows, it doesn't have any depth, it's just a base color. Also, we could always go back and ZBrush and change these textures up a little bit at any time we like. So I'll see you in the next tutorial where we'll most likely be doing that. And then we'll be doing the sideburns here, and then we'll be doing the overall hair, which will most likely, if we look at the Photoshop picture, it's all just kind of going back. So it's kind of covering up the other parts. So all this bit at the top will most likely be covered up. The bits that I'm worried about the most is just these bits at the bottom. So you might go in and just kind of add some extra hair to kind of make it a bit more fluffy, like his hair is. It's quite fluffy, his hair. So we'll see you then. Welcome to the end of this tutorial. Feel free to comment with feedback and suggestions below, and also comment on what you would like to see in future videos. Thanks and goodbye.